Good morning. Give us a big wave or throw a five in the chats below if you're not on camera. We have the honor today to have a very special conversation. Make sure I hit these buttons here as well too. But we're in a space right now. I mean, if you're newer to the family, welcome to the family and to the whole Champions Network. And it's an honor to be here. If you're new to this space, and I'm curious as well, who here is Partner Co. your very first network marketing experience? Put a one in the comments. And if it's not your first experience, put a two in the comments. So we have a couple people, this is your first time. Awesome. We have a lot of people, this is not your first time. So I would imagine it's maybe 80%, Rob, has probably been involved at some capacity. And then a lot of new people as well, too. And let me preface this with, you are in the best place in the world at the best time. We're going through a lot of shifts. I think post-COVID, we've been talking about this throughout the months, but all businesses have shifted. The world's shifting, and especially our profession shifts. And if you want to succeed in this business, being involved in that for 16 years in this crazy fun thing, I've learned that you have to have belief in a couple of areas and conviction, right? You have to have belief in yourself that you too can do this. And that's why we come onto trainings like this, so you can see other stories and all that. You have to have a belief in the product. Who here loves our products, by the way? Our amazing drops, or Noni, or whatever. There's so many amazing ones. How many products did you take today already from Partner Co? I mean, I showered with it. I brushed my teeth with it. Lots of different things. You have to have belief in business and entrepreneurship over just having a 9 to 5, which was what I was trained on. Rob, I was trying to be a medical doctor, went to UC Berkeley and thought I knew it all. And then I met someone that was a college dropout that was making more than my parents. I'm like, all right, maybe I signed up for the wrong class. Not knocking on college or professions. But the last thing also, and of course, the company itself that we're partnered with, but we also need to have a solid belief in network marketing, or as we call it, partnership marketing as a whole. What does it actually take to actually succeed? What is a good company? Most of us get introduced because you had a friend that just hit you up, or maybe you saw a post. We do a lot of attraction marketing here. And most of the time, you don't choose the company. And unfortunately, what's happened, if you're any student of this space, is there's been a lot of turmoil. Many companies have either shut down due to many different reasons. Many companies have shifted from network marketing to affiliate marketing, and they just ditched the field. Many different things. And it begs the question, whether you're thinking about it or not, are we in the right space in network marketing? And is our company solid in how they are designed to be solid and to be built to last as well, too? And it's ironic because we have 10 values in Partner Co. as a company. Mm-hmm. And one of them, actually the top one, is built to last.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Right, exactly. So I wanted to introduce you because Rob Sperry just came out with a book, which I'm going to link right here. I'm going to encourage everyone to get this book. Like, I recommend a lot of things, but this is one. Honestly, I think every single person in network marketing needs to read this book. Because I'm almost done. I'm like I just got it yesterday. I'm like almost done because I'm like, oh, and I barely read these days. Besides the Bible, I don't have time, but I had to make time for this, Rob. So Rob, I'm talking way too much, but for those of us that don't know you, we'd love to hear just a little brief background of your experience into this space, and who is Rob for the half that don't know you.
Well, I'll try to keep that short, right? Because you can go in so many directions. First and foremost, I have an incredible wife. And if you see her and then you talk to her, you're like, man, this guy must be really good at sales. Like, he must be like killer. That right there just gives me massive, right, credibility, just her alone. Incredible kids, 4 kids, ages 11 to 20. So 2 boys, 2 girls. For me, my mantra is die with memories, not dreams, because it was like my whole point of, now I've been active in network marketing for 8 years, and now I do a lot of consulting and public speaking and high level coaching for top earners. And since that time, or before that time, I should say, my whole goal was really, it was just memories. Like my dad grew up actually really, really wealthy. And as a dad, he'd always point to me like different occupations, and he'd be like, the whole goal is just those memories and the time and all of that. And so he would coach us tennis 3 to 3.5 hours every single day. And so that was always ingrained in my brain. So when I was coaching tennis, I ran a tennis club prior to network marketing. And I just knew that I wanted more. And I knew that when I took off tennis time, I wasn't making money. I didn't have the time freedom. I didn't have the financial freedom. I didn't have the flexibility. I'd hit a ceiling. And so, long story short, I did get involved in the network marketing profession with really the goal of like being that dad that could be there. And so, now we do about 7 family vacations a year. We just got back from doing Brazil for 10 days with the whole family. I obsess in the things that I absolutely love. We get to do crazy cool things, like I get to coach my kids' high school tennis teams. So I coach the boys and girls high school teams. That's what I'll be doing today for 2.5 hours. I run a teenage mastermind for free. It's just my kids and their friends. Everyone always asks, do you like some big program, or can we fly in? I'm like, I don't have that right now. I have, though, helped 8 different people start their own teenage mastermind sessions. I've had 40 of them, and I could go off on that. But that's the stuff that matters to me. And for me, God's always number one, because my wife and I say, like, if the relationship's there, it helps our relationship with each other and with our kids and with everything else. And so with that said, network marketing, I had a lot of success and a lot of failures, like a ton. I don't have time to go through the failures. But I will tell you that the highlights, people think there weren't failures. The highlights are I was the #1 recruiter out of 1 million distributors in a multi-billion-dollar company. Uh, Highlights are, I ended up facilitating the largest merger in the history of network marketing. Highlights, I built my business in 40 countries. My podcast has been listened to by 189 countries now, written 18 books. But people don't hear my 5th month in the business, I made less than $400 for the month, working 80 hours a week. And my wife's like, is this thing going to work? And I remember I'm like, uh-huh. And in my mind, I'm like, what did I do? That was my only source of income because I quit my job way too soon, which is a story for a different day. So yeah, you hear the highlights, but I've had the lowest of lows, the setbacks, thought I'd made it, start all over again many times as we go. But true wealth's ability. It's not what you have in the bank. And so when I learned that, I stopped, and this is just a quick lesson, and I'd love to go to any questions you have, James,
Mhm.
but I learned that we have to learn to discipline the disappointments. That this is such an emotional roller coaster, more so than almost any other business, because even being an entrepreneur, you got the emotional roller coaster. The highs are too high, the lows are too low, right? When things are going well, we're like, oh my goodness, Susie just joined me. I'm going to Bora Bora. Like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to be retired. And then all of a sudden, oh, Susie quit. I don't have the personality, I don't have the style. I can't do this. And so when you attach money to relationships, when you attach money to who we are, right? Because it's like this mirror magnifying all of our weaknesses, and you can see them, and it's like, oh, that hurts. But that's what's so great. It helps us to become a better human being. And so, as Jim Rohn says, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Become the person you would want to sponsor and recruit. Would you want to sponsor and recruit you based on the last week, last month, last quarter? Some of you are like, absolutely. Others are like, oh, no, not really, because I'm not leading, I'm managing. And so I had to learn that, and I had to learn to manage that emotional roller coaster where I just, you know what? I'm going to increase my network and I'm going to increase my skills. And as I do that, people are going to come and go, and that's totally fine. I had people that I thought were going to join my team and it was going to make all the difference, and then they didn't. And people that quit, right? And best friends that quit. And I went through that. But when I focused on that vision and that journey, it helped me to manage my emotions, where I said, you know what? This is my vision. And like a great stock, there are going to be highs and lows, but I'm going to look at the macro, not just micro, but macro. Look at year over year, right? The last 2 years over these 2 years over the last 2 years, because I have a big picture vision. So that's like a short, abbreviated version. Like I said, many failures I don't have time to go into, but gives you kind of a quick little glimpse.
So good. And by the way, I mean, Rob's got so many amazing tools and resources. I highly recommend all of them. I honestly believe, Rob, your voice is the one of the most important voices in all of network marketing today because you keep it real. But you're so well, like you understand. The moment you read one sentence of what Rob says, you're like, he knows. And that deals with training and coaching 1,700 plus leaders around the world and masterminds and consulting companies and all these, right? So I think it's super important to have. So what I want to dive into, because there's a million things, is in this book, you have like 14 different points on
Yeah,
what it takes to be built to last. And I think one thing that I see, and that's why I love you talking about this, is because from an outsider's perspective, my perception of the space right now is I see a lot of companies changing. I see a lot of leaders that have been established changing. I mean, Stormy Wellington, one of the top network marketers in the world, just changed companies after over a decade, for example, and so many, right? And there's all different reasons and everything. So I'm thinking to myself, how to make sure the company's built to last? But actually, this is how I'm taking notes myself. I look at myself as a Fortune 500 company. And I'm saying, am I embodying these built to last principles as a field leader as well too, so I can stay and have sticking power too? But I think it is important that we talk about what companies should have. And once again, Rob did not write this book for Partner Co specifically, but they're so aligned. And it happens to be that you're meeting with John Wadsworth later today, totally random, So with that, Rob, when you take a look at the many points that you have in here, what would you say are some of the top reasons that people need to be looking at now from a company perspective? Like, what should we look at from that? And I'm looking at this as let's cross check Partner Co. Let's throw everything on the
sure.
table. But yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'll just go through a couple of the top ones, highlighted ones. So the number one most important for me, I think there's a lot of things that are subjective, right? It's like, maybe this and this. This for me is like, I'm okay if someone disagrees, but it probably won't change my opinion. And most of the time I'm very open-minded and I still try to be, but this is one of those that I think is the most important. Who is the owner? Who are the owners? Because think of it as like a captain on a ship. And inevitably, some days you're going to be laying out, right? You're like, oh, this is perfect. As my kids are obsessed now. I don't know when it changed, but they're obsessed with the UV, right? It's like not even what the temperature is anymore. It's like the UV's a 9, Dad. I'm like, what? We didn't even like think about that. And so it's like you're laying out and it's like perfect, getting some vitamin D. You're like, oh wow, like it's just beautiful and gorgeous. But inevitably, there's always a storm. And there always are multiple storms that come. Every company, non-network marketing and network marketing. It's going to happen. Product back ordered, issues with back office, issues with an international issue. There's always issues. Like literally, there isn't one company, and there's no such thing, right, saying like best company, but there isn't ever not a storm. So inevitably knowing that, right, and seeing that from like the Apples and Teslas and Microsoft and like, all these companies, knowing that, you look at it and you say, okay, who is the captain or the captains of the ship? Because when the storm comes, they can help us navigate through that storm. So nothing else, right? Because even people will be like, well, what about products? I'm like, well, yeah, but you can have a hero product and then it's going to still have a shelf life. And eventually you're going to have to either enhance it or come up with another one. Like that's part of it. So yeah, in the book, I'll talk about products innovation, absolutely key and critical because if you have products that are only priced to the compensation plan and products that are literally just for network marketing, but if you don't feel comfortable or confident talking to a friend about it, then you got a product really just with an opportunity and the product's attached to it. Like that doesn't work either. So yes, you got to have the products, but who's going to help make that decision on it? Who's going to help make the decision on do we need to enhance and change the comp plan? The owners are. So yes, products, and you could say comp plan and you could say culture, right? And I think a big one that companies have forgotten about, if we're going to go down that route, because I think it'd be easy to make mention of products, comp plan, like infrastructure and all of this. They don't think they've forgotten about it, but they just allow it to happen and rather than obsessing with improving it. That would be culture. And I know this sounds like common sense, But when you really think about it, like that's our X factor. And yes, part of the culture is the personal development, but everyone got so obsessed with online, 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 online. And then COVID hit and they went to another level. And it was like, great, let's just build this thing. And then they became like their own version of Amazon's. And then what happens when there's a storm? Well, there's zero loyalty, there's zero culture. People pay to go to church, whether that's tithing, whether that's gas money to get there, whether that's opportunity cost, right? Why are they paying? Because the community. I think of when I started out in this industry in 2008, there are still people that are going to that company's convention that aren't making money because to them, the intrinsic values are bigger than the money. They're becoming better human beings. I'm a better father, husband, leader, neighbor, human being because of this profession. So finding ways where we're helping to improve that, where they get the relationships, they get the camaraderie, is absolutely important. And I know that you guys do a good job of having that hybrid. You understand the value and the importance of online. I'm not taking away from that. Yes, online's so critical and so important, but one of the reasons why you guys were one of the very, very few companies that had growth specifically in North America, and I know there's leaders from all over the world, but let's just use North America as a great example for the rest of the world, is because you were one of the few that understood the importance of in-person as well. And the rest of the industry is like asking questions now, trying to catch up on that concept and principle. And so those are a couple of the things. And for me, yeah, it's literally a coincidence I'm meeting with John today. He called me yesterday at, it was like, I think actually it was like 5:30. I was head to dinner with my wife. I'm like, you good if I answer this? She's like, sure. And so I answered it. He's like, hey, real quick, had a couple of questions. Like, hey, how long are you in town? He's like, a week. Great. So we're meeting up today, just as friends. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Nothing else, no agenda, I don't think, from either side. It's just like, hey, in town, let's connect, man.
Alignment. It's a big thing, right? So, guys, take some notes on this. I take it two ways. Number one is do your own evaluation of John and Darren, and just popping this up there. And for example, to what you said, Rob, I mean, they don't need to, but the last 2 years, they have both been on the road more than they've been back at home. I mean, they travel crazy amounts to your point on that because they understand that culture is that important. I love what you say in your book. I got to read this line. This is for all of us, by the way. I want us to vet this two ways. Once again, company, but then you as a business. All right. Put it to you in the comments if you're with me on that. Because I know I can't control the company. I can influence, but I can control me as a company. That's all we can do, right? Lead ourselves. You talk about leadership in this book. So you say that culture isn't what you say, it's what you do and what people feel when no one's watching. So I want us to reflect on that too. If your people, your customers, your partners were to evaluate you as a company and as a culture, is it what you would want them to be? Right. And I check that on myself all the time. And I think we have a great example with Partner Co. I love their value. I think if we just embody what their values are, that's a good culture. So I'm constantly aligning myself on that. So Rob, thank you for touching on that. And that is huge. So leadership, ownership, and culture is a big thing. What else after that do you think are important to evaluate?
Yeah, I mean, obviously products and comp plan, because with products, like I said, you got to have products that people feel passionate and they're excited about. You got to have products that people know that absolutely work because in this industry, we know we're givers. We know how incredible the business is, but one of the things that prevents us from approaching more people is we're worried about being perceived as takers. So at the beginning, it's a transition of belief to becoming and knowing, like, no, I am a giver. Like, this business is incredible. But then the next level of obstacles come where it's like, yeah, but they think I'm gonna take it. Like, oh, is this one of those pyramid schemes? And all of a sudden, like, red alert goes on in your mind, and you're like panicking a little bit. And how do I handle this? And what do I say? Am I defensive? Or what questions do I say? Right? Or is this one of those like, things where you get two, like, and they start asking, and all of a sudden this red alert, right? It's PTSD as you go. And so we know we're givers, but we also to build that belief, we've got to have big belief in the products where it's like, look, whether this was network marketing or not, you should take these products, right? Everybody should be taking these products. I want to talk about these products. I've seen results in these products. Other people have seen results in these products. So you have that aspect of it. And you look at it from a value proposition of just knowing and having confidence in that. Then the second part is, of course, is you look at it as compensation is how we get paid. And so, we're chasing dreams. Maybe it's your dream of being able to make that car payment. Maybe it's that dream of, getting a loved one out of a job or getting yourself out of a job. Maybe it's that dream of doing that family vacation that you want to do and you want to take the family or grandkids, right? Maybe it's that humanitarian trip that you wanted to do. But money used properly fuels the dreams that we have. And so you got to look at it and say, okay, well, a comp plan helps that because it creates the right human behavior as you go. And so for you guys have done an incredible job of creating on that, especially on that front end and retail, where it helps people to have quick wins. And that's been a big shift, especially in the last 3 to 5 years, where years ago they didn't have Uber, they didn't have Airbnb, right? There wasn't as much affiliate and other opportunities. Those opportunities are great. But what it did is it made it where network marketing couldn't just cast the long-term vision of, hey, someday this is going to be worth it. That's still in place, but now people are like, well, yeah, but I got to make it now. So that's where network marketing, and you guys actually have done that. I know that because it was one of the questions I asked, John, we were just meeting his friends probably like 6 months ago. And he explained it and went through the whole model for me is having that front end to help people have wins, quick wins, so that they know it's real is absolutely critical and important.
So good. So guys, I look at this and I'm always a skeptic and I always think like, are these valid points or not? Like, so what I hear so far, this is order of, it's not just what points are important, but the priority of them. And it's important for us to know this as leaders, because if you want to be convicted and built to last, you're going to have these doubts and conversations in the field. People, there's shiny objects everywhere, right? Look at this company, this compound, this product, blah, 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 blah. But if you are not in priority, then we can get lost. So number one priority, who are the owners? Number two, the culture. Number three, the products. Number four, the compensation. If you're in alignment with those priorities, put a 4 in the comments below, because I preach the same tune. Like I don't care what other companies have. All the other stuff is fixable, right? You can always develop a new product. But the owners, that's why, like with John and Darren, I was super skeptical when I saw Partner Co. I'm like, I don't know if this is the real thing. We just got burned ourselves as well. And I doubted them heavily, but I saw them in just 3 months on what their actions were. Culture is what you do, right? Their actions were. And I'm like, wow, these guys are the real deal. 2.5 years later, I am full trust. I've zero doubt in my mind on their integrity, their conviction, their commitment to long-term growth and all their values. And that's huge, so absolutely. Okay. So Rob, now, you coach field leaders. What's so fun about this book is it's geared towards corporates, which is so important. It gives us leverage, honestly, which is good. But at the same time, on the field side too, it's a partnership. Talk to us as leaders. What are things, and keep it real, what are some trends or things you're seeing that are debilitating leaders right now, that in this next phase of growth, in this next generation of network marketing, that we need to be very aware of if we want to really rise to the top and be able to carry this mission out? What would you say to that?
Yeah, so leadership development's in the book, but I have a book called Your Rank Advancement Blueprint that's 100% on leadership for the field. And really what it does is it goes through 3 phases. And the 3 phases are the learner phase, which you could say, like at the beginning, we're followers. It's not a bad thing. Like every master was once a disaster, right? So we all have to become great followers. Then after that, you shift into the lifestyle phase. And the lifestyle phase, right, is where you're becoming a leader of followers. And it could be maybe just a couple followers to start. And then eventually it's more followers. And in that lifestyle phase, eventually you become a better leader of followers. And so now maybe you have even more followers, and maybe a lot of those followers, like some of them are even higher level, maybe on a scale 1 to 10, some are, sixes, you got fives, fours, threes, as far as their growth and their leadership as they go. And maybe you got 1 or 2 leaders. Eventually we transition into the legacy phase, which is the leader of leaders phase as we go. And that's where it becomes, and it's hard. I'm giving you guys vision, and I'm going to break it down for all levels where you're at. But eventually it gets to the point where the lifestyle phase, you transition. It's like, it sounds crazy. My mentor would tell me this and I'd roll my eyes. He'd be like, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And in my mind, I'm like smiling, I'm like, you idiot, you've made $30 million. Easy for you to say, not about the money. He's like got the jet and the sand volleyball court, and like this full soccer field and outdoor theater. And I'm like, cool story, bro, right? But I was like, in my mind, I'm like, are you serious? Come on, man. But you learn that eventually, like more money, uh, it's great because you can do so much with it and give so much and help so much, but it doesn't affect your lifestyle much. Like it's minimal difference. It's like, and I know, trust me, I know, like I was there. I like literally was rolling my eyes, but it's like, and I'll give big numbers. It's like someone going from 50 to 65 grand. It's like, or 65 to 75 or 80 to 100. They use that as a way to keep score, and it's a way to show progress, because the definition of happiness is progress. And I would roll my eyes when I'd hear all these things until you go through it and live it. So when you look at it, it's like, okay, how do I begin with the end in mind? Like Stephen Covey teaches in the 7 highly effective habits. And for leadership development, right? Think of it as personal development. PD can also stand for not just personal development, but procrastination development. This is where network marketers get stuck and they don't actually grow as leaders. So good leaders have vision. If you want to become a good leader, you have the vision. I'm never quitting. That's good. But that's like saying I'm going to climb the Mount Everest of network marketing. You get to the base camp at the very, very bottom. You plant your flag. You say, I'm never quitting. It's not going to help you. It's going to help you, but it's not enough to achieve your goals, right? You can't just camp there 10 years later. I camped. I'm never quitting. You still have to make progress. So it's good, but it's not good enough. So good leaders have vision, but great leaders give vision. Okay. Now, part of having and giving vision is development is an action, right? Faith without works is dead, right? We read about that in James in the Bible. And so it's like same thing is we have to take action. In network marketing, eventually we get to the point in this leadership development where we try to get everyone to do what we once did, not what we're currently doing. And everyone's different when they begin to do that. Now, it could be you get 2 people and like, so much pain reaching out to new people. I'm done. And all you do is manage. Hey, Susie, did you watch the Zoom? I tagged you, right? Did you do your personal development today, right? I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just like making fun of myself because I did all this, people. Okay. So I'm not attacking your soul or you. Like I did all of this. And it was like, you start just managing everyone. Maybe it's you recruit 10. Maybe it's you hit a rank where you're making 36,000 a year. Maybe it's when you're making 100,000 a year. At some point, leaders jump off the development where they stop reaching out to new people. They stop launching new teams. They stop working with new people, and it's manage, 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 manage. And when you hear cliches like speed of the leader, speed of the pack, cliches are cliches for a reason because they're timeless principles. So like what you do well duplicates sometimes. If you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. I swear, like all the good things they do, it's like minimal. It's like so much repetition and teaching. And whatever you do poorly, almost always duplicates, right? It's like my wife will be like, they got that from you. I'm like, oh, I did. Dang it. It's like I'm trying, right? And that's what is amazing. It makes me be a better human being because I want to be a great father. And so you look at that, and that's what's so hard about this business. Like they know you're like, hey, who are you getting on the Zoom tonight? And in their minds, consciously or subconsciously, they're like, man, you haven't gotten anybody on the Zooms, right? Why are you telling me and asking me who have you gotten on? So it's a lot more, right? It's a lot more of just asking for opportunities. Maybe as you're arriving, you're like, hey, can I go in the Facebook group, James, and just do like a quick 3-minute video and share my tips? Right. And different things like that is yes, you're leading by example, then you're looking for opportunities to also increase your leadership, but nothing replaces what you've done and what you're doing. Like you can't cheat the grind, people. Like you can't. And too many people, they know that, but they treat network marketing like net lottery ticket marketing, net hoping, net wishing, net dreaming, net looking around. I know I did. I smashed it my first month. Part-time, August, I did $45,000 in sales, had never done network marketing. I'm a crazy natural introvert where I was really good at inviting. I couldn't close, I couldn't public speak. Like, but I invited 250 people, all in person, and did $45,000 in sales. My check was $15,000 back then with inflation. Who knows what that's worth now, right? Sounds impressive. Guess what my second month was? 2,200. Sounds impressive. That's when I went all the way down my fifth month to 400 bucks. So I did the opposite. Crazy success. Why? Because I did everything I'm making fun of everyone for. I did it all. Like manage. I wasn't leading. I didn't want to go through the pain of rejection. I didn't want to go through the pain of the fear of judgment. So I'm just like trying to get everyone else to do what I once did. Did you watch the Zoom, right? Are you coming to the training tonight? I'm not saying don't do that, but spend 80% of your time talking to brand new people, whether it's your team's people putting you in front of new people or you're doing it, right? Be the leader that you would want to sponsor right now.
Ooh, 80%. So I'm doing a self-reflection there. And you don't have to answer in the chat, but real talk. This was probably one of the biggest. I always am checking myself on this because I've had unfortunate negative examples. Who here's ever been around a leader anywhere where you're like, you can tell they're being hypocritical, right? They don't practice what they preach. You don't listen anymore. So for me, on what you just said, Rob, I think I never want to be in that place where I lose influence because that is not leadership. And that's not what we're here to do. So are you 80% at least in front of new prospects? That's why we have all our promos. That's why we're driving towards PXP. That's why we put together, we're doing this fun thing. What, a month from now, we're going to PXP in Dallas. But we have this promo that's called the Giddy Up for PXP promo. Why? Is we're talking about being in frontline mode, sponsoring new partners and customers. And we're going to do cool, fun prizes, stuff like that. But really, the more important thing is it's for you as a leader. Are you putting points on the board and everything, right? I recruited someone a day or two ago. They're launching. They're already getting customers. I'm still in recruiting mode. I'm still making sales. So it's huge. Rob, I want to bring up, we have an amazing collaboration of leaders here. And this team would not be number one in the world right now if it weren't for all of our amazing collaborators, which is everyone here. But Danielle Singh is one of the top, ran through the charts, just incredible leader and everything. Danielle, you had a really good question, but do you mind sharing that with Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And hi, Rob. It's so nice to
Hi.
meet you. Such an honor. So, my question is, when you have like incredible leaders who are talented, but they're stuck in self-doubt or maybe fear of stepping into that spotlight, what's your go-to strategy to help them shift their mindset and their identity and to get them to rise into their next level?
Yeah, really, really good, deep question. I look at it first and foremost, there's two questions everybody asks themselves for making decisions. And this will help you, all of you, for looking at asking yourself for hitting the next rank, for chasing maybe that incentive trip. This will help you as well for new prospects joining. This will help you for new customers joining. It's really simple. Not easy to do, but it's really simple to understand. This is number one is, can I do what you're doing? Can I do it? Like that's the first question. Like, can I go achieve that next week? Can I go do a training and put myself out there? Can I go on a blitz and make 100 new invites? The newest person, like, can I really do this? Like, does my personality style fit? Could I do this? Now, that's not the harder question. The harder question is it worth it?
Hmm.
Is it worth it for me to join Partner Co and go chase some of my dreams? Like, oh, and lots of things go through their head. The number one thing that goes through their head is fear of judgment. As simple as it sounds, I do this really like, I just did this in my leaders mastermind, and I write this circle and in the middle circle, I don't fill it in. So if I ever do like a training for you guys, don't screw the punchline up for me. And I list out every fear they say, unless they say the fear of judgment. And they'll be like fear of success, fear of failure, fear of saying the wrong thing, right? But they list all of these, fear of rejection. And then in the middle, I put FOJ, fear of judgment. And that's the mother of all fears, because you take human beings out and you remove that fear, like if you weren't worried what people think, you're not worried about rejection, you're not worried about the fear of success, fear of failure, like any of these things, right? If we're talking about the mental fears that we deal with inside of network marketing. So knowing like all of that, you go, and for these people you're trying to help, right? It's good leaders have vision, great leaders give vision. You're trying to get better and better at casting the vision to them on why it is worth it. Now, the better we get at it, the higher probability we can get them to do something. No matter how good we get at it, it's still their decision, right? So we're doing a good job of doing casting the vision of why this is worth it. It's like casting the journey for them, the transformation and why it's worth it. Now, the next part, it's like, why did I work out this morning? You go through a lot of pain. Like I did leg day today, and it's like leg press and, lunges and all that, because my association was reassociated to that pain I go through is going to make me feel so much better. I'm going to live longer, be there for the kids and grandkids, maybe even great grandkids, right? I'm going to look better, right? All of those things like go through your mind. So it's worth it to me to go through that pain. Now, part of that journey, and the last thing I'll say is this, the other way that can help with all of that is try to get the smallest wins you possibly can. Because oftentimes as leaders, when we try to get them to do something, it's like, think of it as a staircase for the journey. And we make it where it's too big of a step. And then they feel like they're going to fall down the staircase and they don't want to take the leap. So now instead of a leap, let's just go like baby steps. So maybe it's like, hey, let's start out and we're going to have you on the team Zoom. And all I want you to do is be on for 1.5 minutes. That's it. And so the 1.5 minutes is like a really micro win for them. So think of what's the most micro win you can get to foster them with these baby steps, right? So eventually it's like, oh my goodness, I took 5 steps, right? So you just break it down and say, okay, if I'm not getting them to do that, I feel like I'm casting good vision. For whatever reason, it's not catching. How can I simplify that for even smaller wins?
That's awesome. I love that. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great question, Danielle. Rob, do you mind if we take maybe 1 or 2 other questions? Because now everyone's thinking and all of that.
Yeah.
So if anyone has any burning questions, feel free to raise your hand in the Zoom chat here. And what's something that if you could answer would help you overcome the biggest thing for you, or that you've seen in others as well too? Otherwise, I can talk all day as well too. So I'll give you guys this opportunity. So does anyone have a question? Take this opportunity. Leaders take advantage though, by the way. Leaders lean in. Leaders are the ones that are like, all right, Peter Ho, let me bring you up here, man. Peter, there you are. Feel free to, can you put on a video, Peter?
I'm currently driving, so I
Drive
will
safe.
be safe.
No worries. Yes.
But I
What's
wanted
your
to
question?
ask, yeah. Hey, Rob, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
It's
you.
really but I want to ask, I know this is the biggest aspect, what I did 5 years ago and what I'm doing different now is how do you deal with burnouts and other teammates burnout through this industry?
Well, if someone hasn't been through burnout, they just haven't been in this industry long enough. That's what I say. I was so burnt out at one point, I won one of the biggest awards you could win for a multi-billion-dollar company. And I went to accept the award. And then after that, I left. I wasn't at the events the entire time. And I just hoped everyone on my team assumed I was just meeting with other leaders because I was so burnt out, just going through the motions because I was just, it doesn't matter the reasons, right? We can justify them. So there's several different ways to help with burnout. Number one is understand it's a perspective thing. That's it. Now, how we overcome that will help. For example, if you're burnout right now and you had someone sign up and they ended up bringing 30 people on your team, right? Are you still burnt out? No, you're like jacked out of your mind. Like, this is amazing. I love this. So burnout is a perspective. So your perspective has shifted, right? To the point of you've lost a lot of hope and you feel like your return on your investment of time may be not worth it. Your vision has gotten foggy. So now you say, okay, well, that makes sense. Now, how do I overcome that? It's a process. Some are faster, some are slower. Everybody's a little bit different. Little things that you need to do, of course, we know we got to double down on the basics. Successful people just do the basics better. So, the personal development, right? You double down on that. But how do I shift that perspective? Anytime a negative thought comes to your mind, what I want you to do is I want you to write down 3 solutions. If you're driving, I want you to voice message yourself, because I want you to train and retrain your brain to work for you rather than against you. We know how powerful the algorithms are on social media. Your brain is thousands of times, maybe millions of times stronger than that algorithm. So we have to train that algorithm properly to work for us rather than against us, because the brain can't maintain 2 opposing thoughts at the same time. So either your brain's going to focus on the solutions or it's going to focus on the problems. It's going to amplify one or the other. So I still do that to this day. I, still practice these things, still practice, on solution oriented. Don't get me wrong. I still go through my moments, right, where I make mistakes. A huge moment is, I'll just be transparent because hopefully you guys know my intention. I had worked really hard to land this massive company deal where they wanted me to train their whole top leaders. And this is a massive company. They were going to pay me $50,000 and I train them for a day. And COVID hits. They don't reschedule, they cancel. Do you think I was like, oh my gosh, hashtag seriously so blessed? Life's, of course, it's first world problems, right? I was mad. I was a victim. And then the next day I'm like, you know what? Life's still great. Have perspective. Come on, Rob, wake up. You know what I mean? And then a couple of days later, I said, no, I'm going to make this the best thing that ever happened to me. And I did. And at that point, when COVID hit, I think I had 2 or 3 books. Now I have 18. I think at that point, podcast episodes, barely any. Now I have almost 300 podcast episodes, almost 200 countries I've listened to. So it became the best thing that happened to me. So those are things that will help you out. The last thing on it, and we could spend, half an hour on it, but the last thing just really quick is go on a gratitude binge. So what I would do is I would list out, specific to your business, not just life, specific to your business, 10 things you're grateful for about your business. Could be, partner co. It could be the products. It could be the upline. It could be the relationships. It could be who you're becoming as a person. Because again, now what we're doing is we're recalibrating the brain to give us focus. It's impossible to be grateful and unhappy at the same time. I don't know who said it. It's one of my favorite quotes of all time. But, and so what we're doing is we're just shifting that. Now, some it will, happen faster. Some will, take longer. And then the last thing is make sure you get more structured with your schedule. A lot of times burnout comes because people think they're working 40 hours a week, but in reality, they're making 3 new invites. And so they're always constantly working. Jim Elliott says, wherever you are, be there. So for me, I'm coaching tennis. That's what I'm doing. I'm coaching tennis. I invest in the extremes. My extremes are God, family, right? Relationships, and my business. Those are my extremes, right? Yes, I got some health ones as well. But so wherever you are, be there. A lot of you think in your minds, you're always working, but in reality, it's you're working 10% at capacity. So if I'm making new invites, that's all I'm doing. I'm doing nothing else. If my kids are coming home from school and I want to enjoy that time, just log out of social media, right? And just enjoy them. So get more deliberate with your time. So that's a couple of just quick tips.
So good.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Good question, Peter. Peter Ho is a tennis coach, actually, as well, too.
Oh, man, I love it. So I love I played college tennis at BYU and then ran a tennis club, and now I just help coach the high school teams. But so I get to be around my kids and help the other teenagers. But I love it.
So good. By the way, challenge for everybody today. I love that tip you just gave, Rob, is make a post today on your social media. Actually, before I even give you it, who here's down just to say yes because you're a leader? Put yes in the comments below. You're like, let's go. What is it? Right? Yeah, you say yes, and you go figure it out. So make a post on social media today, selfie, whatever, maybe you're at an event, whatever you want, and list out 10 things you're grateful for about your business. Like do that. I'm going to do that today. I'm like, I need to do a gratitude binge at 100%. One thing I say is gratitude is God's frequency. That's what attracts miracles. So that's the easiest way to get any funk. So I love that you specified it towards business. Rob, do you have time for one more question?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
for sure.
Mama Sandy asked a great question because this is now action mode. Mama Sandy, let us know if you are able to unmute yourself. She said, well, let me see if she can unmute. Mama Sandy, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There you are. Do you have video at all?
Yeah, Mama Sandy, you know my hair. I don't have
It's
on my
good.
makeup.
Let's get
Mama
you
Sandy,
on.
you're
Whatever
so
you want,
funny.
you're good. I didn't even do my makeup and I came on the camera, just being fully vulnerable here. So whatever you want, you're good.
Okay.
Oh, you
my
look
goodness.
great.
Oh my goodness.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, huh? Okay. Yeah, James, when you even mentioned Stormy a few minutes ago, way back when.
Yeah. Yeah. So you had a good question, Mama Sandy. And can you repeat that for Rob?
What did I ask in terms of having
Recruiting
friendships with
other people in the industry, basically top leaders
Oh
or
yeah.
top leaders, 6, 7 figure earners?
that
How
made more than you, basically.
Yes, yes,
Okay. So
yes,
how do you recruit up?
Yep.
yes.
Oh wow. This is a good one. Guys, here's the problem. Like I want to do 30 minutes in each one of these, but I don't like to skim, but we're gonna do our best highlighted version for you guys right here. So first things first, don't make yourself the issue, right? It's not about you, it's about what they can do. If I go ask, someone to go play, Peter and I play tennis, to go play a tennis tournament, they're not going to be like, right? Well, if you lost first rounds, then that means I'm going to lose first round. They may be much better than me. So stop making yourself the issue as you go from a limiting belief standpoint. It's not about you, it's about what they can do. Now, there's still some mental obstacles to overcome for that. I get it. There's some different things where we feel like maybe not worthy or not good enough or talking with them. So if I'm talking to someone that's more successful than me, then and I'm really insecure about it, great. I'm just going to say it sometimes. I'm like, Sandra, I know you've had a lot more success than me. I really, really look up to you. So just get it out of the way, right? It's like showing a level of respect as you go. Then I add to it is a couple different things. The key to wealth is leverage. The key to going broke is over leverage as well. But we want to know, how do we properly leverage? So what do you have to leverage? It's like you join Partner Co. and you join this incredible team. And so what it is it's like two companies merging. We accentuate the strengths and we hide the weaknesses. So it's like, what do you have as strengths? You got the company's credibility, the product's credibility, the systems and other leaders having success, and then your top leaders. So this is where you leverage your top leaders as well. So that's the next thing that you can do and look at it like, well, I got incredible leaders that can speak their language and talk with them and talk at their level. Maybe my leaders have actually had way more success than them. So you have leverage, and that's a good use of your leader's time. The last thing is don't fake it until you make it. Sell your future self. So this is what I did at the very beginning. Now you got to make it your own goal. So please do not get caught up in my numbers, because my numbers were huge. Your goal may be, $1,000 a month, $500 a month, $10,000, whatever it is. Like, it has to be honest and real. So when I started out, I leveraged my future self and my past success. You all have had success in something. I don't care if it's like being employee of the month, right? Or great teacher, or great parent, or great at sports and musical talent. So for me, it was, Sandra, like, especially if it's someone that knows me, like, and if they don't, then I'll alter the language a little bit. But you know me, when I commit to something, I do whatever it takes. That's how I got to be the #1 tennis player in the state of Utah. And I take that commitment in everything I do. Boom. I just created instant credibility from what I did. Now, watch this, borrow from your future self. For me, my goals are, so you see, there's no hype or like lies or anything. I'm going to make $50,000 a month. This is what I said literally my first week in network marketing. My goal is I'm going to do that inside of a year, but I know everything worthwhile is always harder than we think it is. You see how there's some credibility of taking away the hype? It may take me 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, but I'm going to do whatever it takes, and I'm going to figure this out. So now, and then from there, I can leverage, right, some upline company and other parts of credibility. But you see, I'm leveraging all these other pieces, including my past credibility, borrow something, future self, upline, company, owners. Very simple. I can do all of that in literally less than 3 minutes as we go. And then all of that said, some say yes, some say no, right? Don't be offended. I know it's hard, easier said than done. I was offended for years, even when I had hit the top level in the company. Like, it's never like a friend rejected me. I'm like, oh, that feels so good. I love this. I just got better at bouncing back quicker as we go. But a server asks you, right? You go to the restaurant and the waitress is like, hey, do you want coffee? And you're like, no. The waitress is not like, oh, rejected me. They don't want coffee, right? We take it so personal. Some say yes, some say no. That's okay. Let's just keep getting better. So great question, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you.
We all needed that. Put a 1 in the comments if you got value from that question, because that's the action step there. Well, guys, time is short. Who here wished that we literally had like all day with Rob? So, and you can. The best thing about these days is whether or not we can get Rob on a call or not. And he has other group, go to his Facebook groups. He has masterminds. I mean, anything Rob does, I highly recommend. Seriously. Grab his book if you haven't already. We're going to do a team book club on this. Like, seriously, it's that big of a deal. Congratulations ordering the book. Grab his other books and everything as well. But Rob, just thank you for being such an important voice of reason. In a time when there is a lot of flux, I personally look to you. I'm just like, you are a person of just like logic and calm and reason. And that is what's needed more than ever. So thank you so much for all that you contribute to our amazing profession. And thank you for coming on here today.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys. And I am Switzerland in this profession as far as I cheer for all the companies and leaders, and I know there's different perspectives, but I really, really do love what you guys have created with your company and your guys' culture, team-wise, ownership-wise. And for me, that just makes me proud. I want more and more companies and teams and leaders doing that. So proud of what you guys are doing. Keep it going, keep making it happen. And I don't take it lightly having me on, because I know that anytime you bring a third-party person, it is the ultimate sign of trust and respect. So I do greatly appreciate that, and go make it happen and go crush it, guys. You can also listen to my podcast. Like, that's free on there. There's like 300 episodes. Just look up Network Marketing Breakthroughs with Rob Sperry, and then listen to me at 2 times speed, and I'll sound like a chipmunk, but you'll get a lot of good information. So thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Rob. So appreciate you guys. Throw your love in the chats below. We'll close out real quick. I'll link all the things in all the chats and everything as well too. So for sure do that. But where do we go from here? This is our opportunity. Like, when I hear what Rob's saying, all I feel is I'm extra convicted in choosing Partner Co. Like, I won't be able to say that about many other companies, unfortunately. But people need to step up. But we have this unique space where Partner Co is doing it right, and I don't doubt that they're going to continue to do it right. So if I know that that's powerful, then am I built to last? Am I leading the charge? Am I leading from the front? Because if we're looking for an opportunity, this is it, right? So what do we need to do? Of course, we're driving to PXP, the biggest convention. Leaders or learners, everyone goes to this. If you haven't got your ticket, get it. Get it. I saw Maria Lena's on this line. She just grabbed her ticket. I know other people are grabbing their tickets, so be sure to do that. And then we have all of our cool promos and take advantage of that. But you be the leader for yourself. And let's really, I think the biggest thank you to Rob is showcasing through our own example, like that we're actually following these principles. So with that said, thank you so much. We'll pray out. So if you want to linger for that, absolutely do that. If you want to pop off, we honor you for that as well too. But we got Mr. Eric Minter that's up here. So Eric, floor is yours. Let me make sure I can get you up here. There you go, man.
Good morning. Paula's down to pray this morning, but
Paula.
if she's not here, I'll be happy to.
Awesome. Paula, let me grab you. All right. I apologize, Paula. We have a lot of cool prayer warriors here. Paula.
I'm here. I was trying to get myself unmuted. I don't know why I always struggle with that.
You're good.
Thank you, to everyone that has just been here today, not just our third-party guest today, but every single person that's ever poured into us. Right now, God, I just feel like we need to pray for a time of healing and a time of restoration, whether people are burnt out or there have been shifts in their business or the shifts that have even occurred within our leadership here at Partner Co. So, God, I just pray that you would restore, that you would heal, that you would re-energize, that you would refocus, that you would help us to not be distracted. You would help us to make sure that the time that we are using is focused energy, that we're not just, you know, thinking we're spending lots of time on something that we're actually not, because we're doing many other things. God, I pray that you would help us to just really get back in alignment with you, get back in alignment with our why, get back in alignment for the vision that you have given each and every one of us for our futures. God, help us to tap into strength through you, because when we don't feel like we can, we know that if we turn to you, you will carry us through, Lord. God, I pray a special blessing for each and every one of our leaders, Lord, for the all of the time and all of the energy. I pray, Lord, that you would restore them, Lord. Help them to not burn out, Lord, and help others to rise up and come alongside with them and collaborate with them to help lighten their load, Lord. Help us to all take in everything that has been poured into us today, as well as others' days. Help us to do our part by following through, Lord. Help us to be the leaders that we can be. God, when we're doing network marketing, help us to take it as seriously as a 40-hour a week job where we punch a time clock and we're going to have an evaluation each year by our employer. And what they determine in that evaluation is going to determine what potential raises that we would receive or potential advances within the company. God, we praise you and we glorify you and we thank you that within our Partner Co. network marketing, we are in the driver's seat to be the one to make our own decisions and impact our raises and our potential advancements, Lord. Help us to work as hard as we would at that job where we have somebody that is over us, holding us accountable. Help us to hold one another accountable and help us to work in a way that we desire to honor you, because if we're doing that, then we absolutely cannot fail no matter what we're doing. God, we thank you that you empower us each and every day. And I pray that you be with all my brothers and sisters in this company and that you would bless each and every one of them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Beautiful. Thank you. God bless,
Amen.
guys.
Amen.
Thanks again, Rob.
Thank